It's fried, it's crispy, it's meaty. This is my delicious Korean pork cutlet. Hi guys, welcome back to Dadlicious Eats, and today I'm making a firm family favourite. We're making Korean pork cutlet. In Korea, it's called Dongaseu. It's schnitzel in Germany or Austria, katsu in Japan. Wherever you're eating it, it's delicious. It's easy to make as well. As always, it would be really helpful if you could like this video, drop a comment below, share it. It really helps me to get the video out on YouTube and get the message out there that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to cook some really good food. Right, let's get cooking. So first up, the ingredients, starting off with the meat. So I'm using pork loin steaks. You want something that isn't particularly fatty, so we're going to trim this up in a second. You could also replace this with chicken breast or chicken thigh. That would work really well as well. We've got some eggs for the breading, as well as plain flour, panko breadcrumbs. So make sure you try and use panko breadcrumbs. They're much lighter, they get much crispier than regular breadcrumbs. Some seasoning, some salt, some pepper. And then finally we've got Tonkatsu sauce, which is worth just buying rather than making yourself. The closest thing I would liken it to is maybe a Korean barbecue sauce of some kind. It's got a tomatoey base, it's very sweet, but it's also got savoury flavours in there as well. Only a couple of pounds from an Asian supermarket. Let's sort out this meat. So as I said just now, we want it to be relatively fat-free. So I am going to trim this up. Now, this is worth still keeping. I'll pop this in some sausage, but that can go in a bag in the freezer. And what you want is something that looks like this. You could use pork shoulder, but you'll find that you've got quite a bit more fat running through it. So let's start trimming up the rest of these. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Really appreciate you coming back for yet another video. If you're not a subscriber, why not go ahead and click that button now? I've got tons of great recipes that I want to share with you. I've got tons of tips and tricks, and I really want to just show you, like I said in the intro, that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to cook some really good food for your family. If you've got a question, just pop it below. I'll absolutely do my best to get back to you. I do work 9 to 5, so it might take a few hours, but I'll definitely endeavour to answer your question, or if you've got a better way of cooking this, let me know. I'm not overly precious, so I'm always keen to find out more and learn a little bit more. Okay, so now we've got a piece of meat, but that's a little bit too thick at the moment. That'll take a while to cook, or you'll find even worse, that the outside cooks, but the inside doesn't. So what we're going to do, just take a piece of greaseproof paper. Actually, we can probably lay down a couple of them at a time. Fold that over, and get a trusty rolling pin. Beat your meat. That's looking good. So you want this nice and thin. It's what, less than ½ centimetre thick. You can see already that's so much thinner compared to this version. So again, just bash it down. Doesn't take much effort. This is something, if you've had a bit of a crappy day at work, or you want the kids to have a go at, just go for it. Take out that anger. So next up, it's time to start dredging. I'm coating this with our breadcrumbs. So just beat up a few eggs. For this you want between 2 and 3 eggs. Just give that a good mix there. So we're going to start off on the left, and the flour. There. And into the egg mixture. And then, just to show you, pop it into the breadcrumbs. So this is where it will always get a bit messy, but you know what? just gets stuck in. You can always wash your hands after. So just make sure that you are covering that nicely with the breadcrumbs. And then if they are, just set that aside and move on to the next one. There we go. It doesn't take long to do. You can also do this in advance, so you could prepare this in the morning if you wanted for when you get home, if you've got things going on with the children or whatever. It's such a good recipe to have in your arsenal. You could just hear how crispy this is going to be just by listening to the breadcrumbs going onto the pork. Let's get cooking this now. So we've got a nice deep-sided pan or pot, wok, whatever you want. We're going to fill that with about centimetre and a half, so just under an inch of oil. So I'm using vegetable oil. You want something that burns at quite a high temperature because you don't want it to burn. Once that is up to temperature, we're going to pop in a couple of these. Straight away you can see it's hot enough because it instantly sizzles. And this is only going to need a few minutes. See if I can get away with putting a third one in. I'm not sure I can actually. Let's see. There we go. Excellent. You can already see this is browning around the edges. So we'll just keep an eye on this because we don't want it to burn. When we've been in Korea, I've had pieces of cutlet that are probably the entire size of this pan. Absolutely ridiculous. Something I can't finish myself. So we'll give that a flip over. Look at that, nicely browning. It's cooking well because the important thing is that you've got it nice and thin underneath. But you can see the crispiness of this. Look at that. So we'll give this another minute. Okay, these are looking really, really good now. You can see the edges have crisped right up, nice golden brown throughout. So we're going to take these out, let them drain off, and then we're going to cook up the rest of them for the family. So we've got our pork cutlet. Not sure if you can hear that, but that is super crispy. So to serve this, basically going to pop this into slices. This will go onto a plate. Going to serve this up with some delicious rice and some kimchi. Finally, we're going to take our Tongaseu sauce and give that a nice coating, although it would help if I actually create the hole in the top. Good, and that is my Korean pork cutlet. Delicious. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. I'll be back with more great recipes soon. Take care, guys.